to do another color that I'll probably be working on for a few hours. Maybe not tonight. I'm going to shoot for about an hour, let's say. So, in case you're new, I'm Savvy Savi. And if you're bored, we're going to cross stitch this project together. You're not going to see what it looks like until I'm done with it. So, hold on to your seats. All right, so we're starting with a new color. It's 519. It's a DMC color. It's blue because everything we're working on now is going to be blue. And right now I just have to take a good size piece of thread that I want to work with today. There are quite a few pieces that we're going to be doing. My scissors need to get sharpened, so that'll be an interesting find. You can use any kind of scissor. I just like to use these little tiny ones. These little tiny scissors. All right, so now we're gonna unwind our thread as soon as I stretch. Oops. Ooh. All right, so now we're gonna unwind our thread here. Now, for this next part, we're still using only 2 of these tiny little strands. So you gotta just take 2. And now we're just gonna separate it out as best as possible. Oops, see, today is not a good day for string apparently because I'm clumsy. All right, here we go. So what I do is I just unravel it a little and then I can just take my thumb and drag it along, but it's not working for me tonight, so woo, super slow method. Now we're gonna use this 4 pieces later. Well, two strands per piece, right? We're gonna use those in a minute. But here we have our super thin thread, which is gonna go into our needle. All right, and I like to keep a longer piece so that way it's a bit shorter for this in and out part until we get to this end. Just gonna stick that there. And now we gotta knot the other end. Now there is a way to cross stitch without knotting at all, but I'm not talented enough to do that because I'll forget about it and then I have to redo stitching. So this is just what I like to do. So I like to make my knot at the very tail end, leaving like less than a centimeter or so. And I'm gonna double knot or double to quadruple knot. I haven't had to do a 5 knot one yet. Knock on wood. Where's wood? We're good. I don't have neighbors on that side. We're fine. All right. All right, there's a double. I'm actually gonna end up doing a triple with this one, just because it's kind of thin for my taste. My paranoia does not allow, but it's fine. All right, and as we go, and see, as I tried to do that without looking at it, I made the knots too far apart. So now I'm gonna do a quadruple knot and see how well that works out for me. It's reasonable. All right, so now we're gonna get started on this next part. Now this is just slightly darker. Now you can just hardly see it in this light, but this is one color, this is one color, and that's, you know, there's a little detail marking between the two, but only 2 colors so far. This is color number 3, and we're gonna start doing the stitch. All right, I gotta pull up the pattern so I know what I'm doing. Oh, hey, I'm on Twitch. Sorry. I was making sure I was doing everything correctly. Eeny, meeny, miny. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. All right, let's get started. I think we're gonna work on this side, and we are gonna do an outline. So we're gonna go down and over that way. So I'm gonna work on that. And I'm gonna start in the most obvious spot, which is going to be this teeny tiny square right here. Yeah, you can even see it on the screen. So I'm going to start there and then just follow that pattern. For talking subjects today, I had a pretty rough day at work. Like, work itself was fine, and I got to help a few people. Some people didn't show up, but what was harder was that I was just really sad today. I won't talk about why I was sad because at the moment it's pretty private. And eventually, when I do talk about it in front of people, I just want to be more comfortable with how I feel about it, if that makes sense. I'm not doing so hot, but everything will be fine someday. And that's all I need, right? But in the meantime, yeah, I was just kind of sad about everything that's been happening lately. And, I drive for a while. So, yeah, those drives get lonely. And then I realize how little I have in life in general. And it's just kind of hard. If you notice, I'm unstitching some of it because I'm not paying attention. My bad. But yeah, I'm kind of burned out. Not necessarily with work, just with life in general. I'm tired. I don't feel good all the time. And yes, I know I need to eat better. I'm aware. I'm just really bad at it. I'm not good at cooking. I'm not good at keeping a personal schedule. If it benefits me, I probably don't do it. Which I know sounds so silly to say out loud, but that's true. I eat on the go. I mean, shoot, I hardly take bathroom breaks because I'm so busy. I don't know if busy is probably the right word, but it's the word I'm going to use. And yeah, it's just kind of a lot. All right, I'd have to say, based on what you guys can see, this is going really well. Like, it's got a nice color difference too. I like this color, especially when I can see it really easily. So there's that. What else can I talk about? I finally got my smart speaker to play more than just Amazon Music. Now, that's an accomplishment for me. I'm not very good with my technology, but it worked. And it's all thanks to the smart speaker's name, because now I can listen to Pandora. And I know nobody listens to Pandora anymore. It's YouTube, Spotify. What's that other one that people use? Oh, and Amazon. But yeah, no, I love Pandora. I've been using Pandora for years, actually, since I was in high school. And I've tried the iHeartRadio bandwagon. It's fine. I prefer my Pandora. It's got years worth of my music likes, and I don't have to pay for it. I'm fine with the ads as long as they're diverse, and I don't hear the same two over and over again, which is not my jam. Eventually, I'll post that other video, what I did yesterday, on YouTube. I did not do a good job. I tried to pause the stream because, bathroom breaks and, I had to eat lunch and all that. But it didn't, it just stopped it. So, and I don't know how to stitch videos yet. So, I'll figure it out one day. I don't think I'll do too much tonight. I'm already getting kind of tired. It's 8:30. This is pretty late for me. I usually go to bed really early, like the big baby I am. It'll be fine, right? Can't find the. There it is. Now, I've mentioned that I like to do the outline because then it's easy. So I can mindlessly fill in the middle. And I stand by that. I stand by that a lot. I enjoy that, like a lot. Because then I don't have to constantly look up at my screen. And I do find that slightly annoying. But I also don't want to go to the library to print out stuff. Not that I live far, I just don't want to pay. I want to pay like $4 for it because it's got to be big enough for me to see and zoom in, or like I don't know. I don't know how you. So like cross stitching patterns are usually printed really big, so that way you can see them. Because they use, if they don't do a color match, they do like symbols. So like if you want this specific color number, they put in like a heart or something like that. So that way it's easier to see. It's not a paint by number pattern because that would be too hard because these numbers can get kind of long. You know, like our first number, this guy was like a 3761. Am I right? I feel like I'm right. Hang on. I'm looking at. Yeah, 3761 is that number. So imagine having to put 3761 in every single one of those stitches. It's just easier to do a heart, to be quite honest. Okay, we're on 3. Go over 1. This, there's just going to be this one really funny stitch, and I think it'll be fun, at least. Um, you'll see in just a second. I've got a few stitches left before I get to that part. Okay, starting 1. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. I just realized I don't have that Twitch box up, but I don't know if that's going to be useful for us. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. I'll check in. If anybody decides to join us, I'm sorry. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, so I'll check in every few stitches and we'll call that good. Sorry. Like I mentioned, I'm really excited to put this stuff on YouTube. This is about, I don't know, 8 hours of work so far. So I have to say I'm really, really pleased with it so far because that time lapse we're gonna do is gonna look really cool. But yeah, anyone who's watching this, I really hope you don't feel as lonely as I do. I know everything seems hard, and I'm sure it is hard for you right now. You just gotta roll with the punches, right? I know nobody wants to hear that, but I can't fix your problems, and I'm sorry for that. I wish I could, and I wish you could fix my problems. But where we live, how we live it, what we live near, and the people who contribute to that. So just keep fighting. I know it doesn't feel like a good fight, and it might feel like you're losing. I feel that on a personal level. But I believe in you. And if you don't believe me, I come from a very terrible background, okay? Um, just full of some absolute horrors. And while I will never love those people, I also hope that they become better. And I know they can be. I know they're not. I know they have the ability to be better people than what they are today. And if I can have that kind of a feeling towards the people who have hurt me for so long, know that I believe in a complete stranger. Please be okay. And like right now, I can't even answer my phone because every time I do, I cry a bit, and I find that very embarrassing for me. I have this severe phobia of crying in front of people, and yeah, no, it terrifies me, so I just don't do it. So I avoid everyone, and by everyone, I mean like I avoid 3 people in my life because they basically are my life, but it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. And on that note, let's talk about something nicer than that. I am in a new area for work. So our person and okay, so my job is area based. So I can only help people if they're in these areas, right? Now, the person in a different area retired. So a lot of people have been going without help for what I do. And it's caused a lot of frustration, a lot of anger, all things I totally get because, these are the kinds of people that need help. And, that's what we're here to do is to help. And a lot of times people get missed because of stuff like this. So since she retired a couple, almost 2 months ago, I think. And I was told I wasn't allowed to go help these people for a while because, they wanted to replace her and, they just have a new person do it. Well, unfortunately, they haven't hired anyone yet. I'm really hoping they hire someone the next week. So this week, they finally let me go down and help out, at least some of the emergency people, people who need it immediately or else. So I went down today. I had maybe 5 appointments and 2 of them were no-shows. And a little disheartening, but I understand. Uh, because I'm in a new area, I don't know it well. So they have to come to me because usually I go to their houses or something. And that was not the case today because, I don't know these roads. I'll get lost super easy and then I'll waste a bunch of time. So, yeah. And I had one girl, she was just so furious that I had waited weeks to call her. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad that I couldn't help her because she just wasn't interested in getting help anymore. Because, if you get lost in the shuffle, the way a lot of these places work is that, one person helps with one thing. So, for example, if I help people with rent, then all I can do is rent in this area. I can't help them with heat. I can't help them with employment. I can't help them with anything else. I have to give them to someone else to do other things. And a lot of people find that frustrating, including myself. I do find it frustrating. And it's just it's kind of hard. And it's also hard to understand, especially when you don't work in that industry and you're just, in the dark all the time. It'll take weeks for maybe it'll take like a couple hours to do an application, right? Because they're lengthy and intrusive. And then that the people who process those applications take at least a month. And it's just a waiting game, right? So you go with whatever's fastest, whatever's going to help you the soonest, and oftentimes it's basically too late. Even in emergency situations, it's kind of hard. Which really sucks because I live paycheck to paycheck too, and I, if anyone gets it, I do. And I wish I won the lottery, because that would make it so much easier. And you could just help everyone. But then that brings up a good point. How do you help everyone? Because there are scammers. Sure, I know that. In the industry I work in, I deal with a lot of seniors who get calls all the time trying to get scammed. And unfortunately, they sound a lot like me. Hi, I'm Savvy Savi. I'm here to help you with this, 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 and this. Can I get your social security number? And unfortunately, I wait until a face-to-face meeting to ask that question, but it is rather daunting. So if you won the lottery and you wanted to help people, how would you make sure you were helping people? Now, I'm not saying it's the most efficient way, but at the moment, that's what they know how to do, to process applications, do math, and figure out how much money they can afford to help this person. And I know it sounds really cynical, but that's what they do with it. And it's rough, but it happens. And I have to say, for those that are able to be patient and do the applications and, just keep checking in here and there, it does help a lot of people. Maybe not as fast as you want it to, maybe not as soon as you need it, maybe you've got a bunch of late fees and you're freaking out because, late fees bad. And let's say you have maybe just enough money to pay for that, so that way you don't accrue any more late fees, but you're waiting on this application to see if you're even approved, let alone if you're denied, because if you're denied, then obviously you've got to pay those things. You've got to pay those late fees, those extra fund charges if you're denied. Now, what sucks is a lot of programs won't pay. They'll pay for late fees. However, they won't reimburse you if you pay the late fees immediately. So that is harsh. It really is. I find that very annoying. But that's just what happens, unfortunately. And what else? I'm sorry, I ramble. I apologize. I'm not good at ramble. Which is hilarious because I actually have a degree in communication, and I loved my undergrad. I truly did but I feel like I have so much more to learn. I feel bad for graduating, even though I got decent grades in my major. 2, 6, 7. All right, gotta pause for a second. 1, 2, 6, 7. Oh, I'm good. Yeah. I didn't even count how many stitches were in this part, and I still got it. Boom. Sorry, my nose really itches. That's what you get for having oily skin. And my hair is like super wet and it keeps tickling my nose. So, other than that, let's see. I will say that unlike most people, I am fortunately lucky. I catch a lot of breaks, and I also manage to get a lot done, despite having all the problems I do. And it's really good. And I don't mean to brag. It's just I'm the unluckiest lucky person. So like if I overdraft on my card, I'll manage to find just enough money to put $1 in my account. And I mean that's extremely lucky because then I don't have like 2 weeks worth of late fees and overdraft charges. And let's see, what else can I talk about with this? I was on the road for like 3 hours today, which isn't bad. It's just unfamiliar territory for me. And that's probably a bad. So like I guess the most I've traveled for work would probably be like 3 hours one way, but I usually get a hotel room if I do that. But I'm just pooped out. Honestly, so tired. Excusez-moi. So, on that depressing note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 2, 3. Let's see. I am pretty tired. So, if I gotta think of good questions to ask myself to answer. Roommate sneezed like a monster. Bless you. They're not gonna hear me no matter how loud I say it, so and I'm not gonna text them either because I don't want to touch that. 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, I can count. Kind of. 6. 7. All right. So all this is going to be this color, but I think I'm going to continue on. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Sorry, guys. Did not mean for that to happen. All right, I think I'm going to continue on with the other side of the outline. I think. Oh no. Oh no, did that? I think I have a broken stitch over on this end. I'll have to go fix that later. All right, let's get started on. All right, we're gonna skip a little bit, just a little. Mm. Sorry, I think I messed up just a smidge, but we're gonna call it good. I'm not really sure how I managed that, but we're just gonna chuck right on along. Yeah, that sounds reasonable, right? Oops. Okay, let's try this now. So I think I might have counted too many stitches somewhere over here because this part should have been over a smidge. So we're just gonna improvise. Actually, do you guys even have a good view? I don't know. Yeah, you guys can see. So, yeah, I'm tired. I should probably not talk about that. Let's see. Oh, right, I was thinking what questions I could ask myself. Uh, I don't know. Ooh, this would be a lot easier if I had outside stimulation, but it's fine. I usually okay, so like what do I do in my daily? I can tell you exactly what my schedule is. I wake up late between 6:30 to 7:40. I work from 7:30 to about 12. I pretty much always take my lunch at 12, and then I work until 5 to 8, depending on the day. And then, what do I do after that? Not too much. I see where I messed up. I missed a color. Should have gone back to a color instead. That's okay. We'll figure it. We'll just figure it out. Anyway, what was I just talking about? I don't recall what I was just talking about. I apologize. Oh, right, my schedule. Yeah, so I get home anywhere from 6 to 8, depending on the day, depending on the need. And then I plan on doing this, but usually I just took a shower, go to bed, call it good, start the day over. Occasionally I would cross stitch, but I would usually take this on the go and like do it in waiting rooms and between appointments, and I can't even say in traffic because there's like no traffic where I live. And if there is, it's like a 2-minute delay because someone's actually on the road. So, small blessings, guys. All right, so now we're kind of getting to that point where this tail is kind of long and it's getting pretty close. So I'm actually just going to unwind this bad boy and make it just a bit shorter so that way we can start using more thing. 4, and we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. Mm. Mm. 7. I wish I could ask you what your schedule's like and how you're doing. Feel free to do so in the comments. I'm working on the tech savvy, and I know I should be better at this stuff, but honestly, I'm really, really not. And I'm sorry. I'll learn eventually. I only do this an hour a day, maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. I've got goals. I hope you've got goals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Haha. We are the bomb digs, my guy. Yeah, I used to say half of my vocabulary ironically, and I'm sure you know from all the memes you probably consume that it's taking a toll on your life as well. I'm sorry. If any of you guys are into self-help stuff, just a super huge segue, right? I think one of the coolest pieces of advice I've gotten from a counselor is probably using some sort of markers for your calendar. So like if you use Google Calendar, or if you use a paper one like me, or you just write it on sheets of paper. I don't know how you live. But what I do is I'll write like how I feel. So I know that's what a journal's for, but hear me out. Like I'll write today was a 2 out of 10 day, or I'll just write simply a sad face. If it was like a really bad day, I'll draw like a crying face. And that's how I visualize how many days of my month do I hate myself versus how many days am I actually happy. And I like to do it multiple times a day because I do notice like my psyche progressively gets worse throughout the day. But, you know, you can use it however you want. You can do it once a day. You can do it 3 times a day. You can do it 7 times a day, which is the perfect amount of meals. Or you can do it never, whatever you're interested in. It's just a cool option to have. So a lot of times when people ask me how I'm doing, I'll be like, it's a 2 out of 10. Or so like I'm the kind of person that wants to take the surveys at the end of the day. Like, and usually if I hate the service that I got on like a phone call, I will be very vocal about it. But not like if it's a person's problem, I usually don't care. But if it's a company problem, I'll rip them a new one. But I like to like brag about good workers, or at least nice workers that are trying really hard to fix your problems. But I really like to brag about those people, and I like to think it helps out some people, someone. I don't know. So when you take surveys, make sure you brag about the person if you actually liked them, because 9 times out of 10, they've never gotten A+ sign from a customer calling to leave a review. Be a good person. Everybody deserves a raise. If you show up semi-consistently and you do your work semi-consistently, you're good. Alright, we're still doing pretty. I actually didn't think I'd get this far tonight, but it looks pretty good, don't you think? I think so. I think it's starting to look really good. We only have a few more stitches until we can start filling, so I am excited. Filling is probably my best part because then I can, be a mindless drone, but also be creative. Mm. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3. So I love Panic at the Disco. It's been my jam since I was like in junior high. Like, I was always like really jealous of the kids who got to wear like tons and tons of band merch because, that's what all the goth kids wore. And I really wanted to be part of that crowd, but I was too poor to be goth. And yes, I'm gonna admit that straight up. Like, I did what I could, so like, I ended up looking like a 90s rock band that aged super badly. Uh, and eventually, when I got into like, that weird vampire stage a lot of kids had, um, I started getting a little bit better dressed because I would wear Halloween costumes to school. Yeah, I know, I was weird. So yeah, that was probably the highlight of my young kid career, and then I moved back into sweatpants and called it good. I was done. I was done trying. Sweatpants is life. Sorry, I just realized I did something a little screwy, but it'll be fine, I think. Okie dokie, let's. All right, I'm gonna tie off here. Black Veil Brides, guys. Black Veil Brides is the bomb, and I know that ages me probably by a lot, but I miss being dedicated to that music. And I'll still listen to them. It just doesn't hit nearly as good as it used to. Like, I still know all of their early music. Same with a lot of bands I got obsessed with, but it's just kind of weird how life changes so fast. Alright, now remember, only cut a little bit, because then we'll cut a lot later. Alright, so now, my guys, I'm gonna fill. Yeah, I'm gonna fill and then I'm gonna wash up. Alright, so now I need to split more thread. I think I've only ever been to one actual concert, you know, where people actually pay for tickets and stuff. It's actually my sister who took us. It was my birthday present. And I got to go see Fall Out Boy. And it was, honest to God, so amazing. And oh my gosh, they rose up in the air. I'd never seen a concert, and like some people watch concerts online, and I'm not sure if that was a thing yet, but I'm still not into that. I'd rather the whole point of a concert is to go see them in person. And while I didn't get to like meet them or anything, it's honestly the coolest thing. Oh no, it wasn't for my birthday. No. They ended up going. My sister and her girlfriend ended up going because it was their anniversary, and it happened to be on my birthday. And so she hadn't bought me anything. So she just like, you know what? You want to come to a concert with us? So, and you bet your bottom dollar that I crashed their anniversary. Yeah, because they're younger than me, so like they're teenagers. So heck yeah, I'm gonna crash that. I played babysitter for my mom, and like not like they were young. They were like, I don't know, 17, 19. I don't remember, but they were young, and you know I played babysitter because why the heck not? Teenage angst. Not like they were gonna have kids or anything. Poor kids, but they'll get around to it. Actually, no, they are not together anymore. She's with a new girl. It's kind of weird for me because they've been together so long and I don't even really know this girlfriend all that well. In fact, when I came back from China, I was really looking forward to seeing my sisters, and I was trying to like coordinate it with her girlfriend because I wanted it to be a surprise. And I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be fun? And I could kind of bond with the gal who might end up being my sister-in-law in the next 15 years. Um, but no, she told her. And I was like really sad. And the worst part was that they showed up pretty early. So then I ended up being late and they had to leave a lot earlier. So then I ended up having to only see them for like a half hour after being gone for 2 years and hardly speaking to them that whole time because, talking to people while you're abroad is kind of hard. And yeah, no, that totally sucked up my spirit. So that was rough, but it's fine. Like, I'll see them eventually, right? It's almost Thanksgiving while I'm doing this. I won't be seeing them for this holiday. I'm hoping I'll see them at least for New Year's because our family does like our giant birthday white elephant thing just before New Year's or just after. I'm hoping I can go to that. I'm optimistic. That's for sure. Look at where we're at so far. We did this outline in like an hour or less. And now that I don't have to constantly count stitches, with the exception of this little bit, but I'm going to be pretty lax on that guy. Now when we get to the bottom, it's going to be a lot more complicated than what we've been doing, which I'm also looking forward to. It's just going to be a lot longer of a process for us. What else? I have to find my cat a new harness because I want to start taking her for walks, but she keeps getting out of her current one. So now I gotta find a tighter one because Miss Skinny Gal is exercising a lot. She's a fat cat. Okay, she's really fat. So I actually have a string for her that's like on the ceiling, and I have a fan so it blows every now and then. So comparative to her previous environment, she does exercise a lot. So now her harness doesn't fit anymore. So now I gotta figure out when I'm gonna be able to afford it. $20 harness. And not like there's a big rush. It's pretty clear out now, which is like amazing because I did not expect it to look so nice. Now I say nice because I live in the north and it's a very cold and snowy place. In fact, the first year I moved up here, it was August and there was snow in August. And that'll forever be the worst moment of my life. Now, mind you, I'm from the south. I had never seen snow other than like some slush that you get, like the great slush storm of 2006 or something like that. It's not impressive. The snow they get here is impressive. But it's not like TV snow, It's like it's powdery to the point you can just barely make a snowball. And if you can, it's because it's ice and you will get so suspended for throwing them. I remember like one of the schools I had went to that first year, I got really not necessarily excited for snow, but I was going to finally play in snow. So I went outside during a lunch break and I started like picking up the snow and I was gonna go throw it at this kid I was hoping to befriend, and he just looked at me like, I swear, if you throw that snowball, you will not have a life here. And I'm just like, okay, dude. And then he told a teacher and I got in trouble. And I'm like, I didn't know I could kill him. It's just snow. So yeah, needless to say, I did not make any friends at that school. Well, I guess it's not totally true. I ended up dating some kid there. But no, I didn't. No, it was not a good idea. Because as soon as I moved to a new school, they immediately started seeing other people. So that was sad. But YOLO. Just means I didn't spend the rest of my life with some jerk. Oh, did I? Oop, I have a knot. Ooh, I have a big knot. Let's see. What is the longest you've gone without sleep? For me, that answer, I have a very clear answer. I have gone 26 hours without sleep, and it was not a good idea. In high school, I didn't start taking school seriously until my senior year, because it was the first time I was actually in a school for more than a few months on end. So I started like getting really competitive with my grades and actually trying, right? So I started staying up late to do my schoolwork, but I also had a job. So I worked two jobs. I was housekeeping and a dietary aide at our local nursing home, and I worked there every day after school, and um, one full shift on the weekend and a half shift on the other part of the weekend. So it was a lot. So I would stay up late to do my homework, and I'd do my homework on the bus. And eventually I just was like, hey, if I only slept for like 2 hours, I could get all of my homework done this week without any problems. So that's what I did. And there was this one point where we were really going to have an inspection or something at work. And they asked if I could work late one night. And I'm like, duh, of course I can. I don't have anything else to do other than work. I'm only 17 or 18 at the time. So I started working like almost full time that week, and it was pretty intense at the time. Um, so I went to work at like 4 a.m. Right, like early. Started like getting everything ready, and then I had like a 2 hour bus ride. Um, so at 6 a.m. I got on my bus, and then I went out to school. I got off at 3. I was back home or back at work at 5, and then I worked from 5 until like 2 a.m. So then I had to actually do my homework 2 to 4 a.m. and I lasted just long enough to clock into work at 4 a.m. the next day because I had to do it for a couple days, ideally. And I had just clocked in, and my boss immediately said, "You can't work today." And I'm like, good call. And I skipped school. Well, that's not totally true. I went to school, but fortunately I had like a pretty outstanding reputation. Not like in a good way, just like, oh, you've been doing your work. Well, we'll give you an easy pass. So I got a small pass for that. So I got to sleep for like 4 classes. So yeah, I've only stayed up just over 24 hours. Would not recommend. Like 0%. Was not worth it. I like to think if it weren't for my job, I would have been a much better student. But, you know, when you're broke, you're broke. So, obviously, money rules most of our lives. And at that point, I had just gotten adopted, and I was trying to pay bills like I used to. So, like I was trying to make enough money to afford my saving because I had just decided I was going to go to college because I could. And I was woefully unprepared for that. And then I was like trying to pay for my car, my insurance, and then I was trying to pay for like my mom's bills because I thought, you know, maybe I could, you know, help out because, you know, this woman that took me in is a saint. I love her. She's one of the 3 reasons I'm still living. And I just find that she does too much for me. But I never knew what a mom was like until she took me in, and I will forever be grateful for her to that. And I miss her a lot. And I've mentioned this, I'm kind of passive aggressive angry with her because we just don't talk a whole lot. And like that's not really either of our faults. I know that she's busy. I've been in China for 2 years. It's gonna take some time. Time is not my friend. And time is hard. I don't like time. Hey, Schwarzy. Okay. So I'm just looking at my cat because she's right on the other side of me, and and I'm just looking at her, and I'm like, "What you doing?" And she goes immediately trying to lick her neck, and I honest to God thought she was gonna like projectile vomit. It was just funny. Sorry, I thought it was funny. Okay, I don't think we're gonna finish this section today. I think we're just gonna finish this one, and I'm gonna go to bed. And I hope you're sleeping well, you know, getting some good health things going on. Hope you're drinking water. I have not had enough water today, and I ended up bringing my bottle and all my cups out of my room, so no for me, but I'm just lazy. I don't want to get up, so you can go drink your water. I said I would check in on Twitch, and I did not ever do that. But it's okay. I'm alone. So I hope you like this color variation because this is like very seeable, and I really like this color. I think it's lovely. Oops, I did a line. No lines. Ooh, fun fact. So we will do some line work in this guy. I didn't think I wanted to, but after seeing some of the like how difficult some of these colors might be to see, because it's for my grandma, right? So when I'm done with this, I'm gonna frame it and send it to her. So I'll do that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add some detailing lines. So just using a dark color and like, outlining all of these small changes. We'll see how that goes. Side note, my grandma, this grandma is my biological one, and I am pretty new to that whole relationship. I didn't become close to most of my biological family until I was like 18. It was rough. But the mutual relationship we have in common is not in the picture. So it's been kind of weird. It's been maybe a 6 years now, and I'm still really new to that. I find it kind of weird, like spending time with people. Like with my adoptive mom, I only got to live with her for a few months, and I love the woman, and I would do so many things for her. But she, like her idea of like spending time together is we're all on the couch watching Netflix. She's on her iPad playing her games, and that's what we do, right? Don't really do things. We just hang out, right? But my biological family is all about doing things and like family dinners and weird stuff like that. So I'm not super into that. It's just weird. Like, I don't know most of these people. Like, my cousins are grown. Like, so I have a second cousins. So I guess at this point I'm closer to my great aunt because she lives closer. And I guess I talk to her more, but that's just because we go to the same places. But like, she and my grandma are pretty similar, but my great aunt's family is like that. They get together on Sundays. They do the whole family unit thing. And I've just always thought that was kind of weird. I've never had that in my life. You don't do family dinners. There's no affection, for lack of a better way to say it. Just because I don't want to get super into it. Not that it's private anymore. It's pretty well documented at this point. I just don't want to cry. But yeah. Anywho, so that is a whole shtick. But that family is just kind of weird. It's also really nice because like I never really had that. I've always been on my own. I've always been pretty depressed, and it's just kind of strange to be wholly invited into someone's home like a stranger when they constantly insist that you're not a stranger. But in the same stroke, you really are. Like, I don't know any of their middle names. I have no idea when their birthdays are. I know them vaguely. But they hug, and they hug me anyway. And it blows my mind. I feel so terrible for even being a part of it because I'm just like, I don't know if this is what you want from me. Does that make sense? Alexa, dislike this song. And yeah, it's just a lot to throw at a person. Now, granted, I don't see these people every day, so like 6 years is not like a lot. I think if I compiled all the time I've spent with that entire side of the family, we're looking at like a month. Yeah, yeah, about a month over 6 years. Is six the right number? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's fine though. And that's fine. I think the bigger reason I'm not super familial with them, other than my lack of time to offer, it's probably the fact that I always feel uncomfortable with how they look at me. Um, they kind of look at me with pity. And like, I kind of get it because at any point in my life, they probably could have stepped in and stopped a lot of things from happening, but they didn't. And so there's a lot of shame in there too, but it's just kind of weird. And coming from where I've been, it's just not something you want to see in the people that want to call you family, right? And it's just strange. Oh, so a fun fact, I actually want to make eventually. What I want to do is I want to make this make a cross stitch, but it's a QR code, and I think you know where I'm going with this. Uh, I want to make a Rick Astley, "Don't Give You Up" Rickroll, and like I know it's probably overdone at this point because I know a lot of people have made patches of it, but how funny would it be as if you like walked into, I don't know who I'd give it to, but if you like walked into someone's office and you just see this framed QR code, would you take the bait and scan it? I just find that idea to be fun. That's all. I think it'd be cool. But that's just me. Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired, so I'm gonna finish up this tiny bit corner. I am leaving some blanks here because I want to fill those in with a different color, just because I feel like that would make it look a bit more dynamic than what I currently have. And I also did mess up, so keep that in mind. Don't listen to me being pretentious. And we'll pick this up probably tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. I've got some long days at work the next until the holiday, but we'll see what life is like. My phone died again. Well, maybe I will stop here. Sorry, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm actually just going to stop in the middle of this stitch. So I'm just going to rethread my needle so that way I don't have to do it next time. All right, it's threaded. I'm putting the needle in. There's the needle. I'm just going to set it to the side. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, and see you guys on the next stream. Later, Gator. Bye.